Back now at 8:51 with an eye-opening look at the importance of quality daycare centers for millions of infants here in the U.S. Today, contributing correspondent Jenna Bush-Hager is here with the tales. Hey, Jen, it's great to see you.
Thank you. Well, so during the first 2 years of life, the brain is at its most vulnerable. So in some daycare centers where kids aren't learning, they fall way behind. It turns out that that 2-year window can be a predictor for the rest of a child's life.
Life for high school seniors is almost always busy, juggling early mornings and schoolwork.
Look, you want to help Mommy on your homework?
But for 18-year-old Wendy Moreno, teenage life has adult complexities. Here in Omaha, Nebraska, the heartland of America, Wendy is raising her 2 young boys who are under the age of 3 and only 10 months apart.
It's hard. It's hard because at times I'm mother and father to my kids.
Although glamorized on TV shows and in celebrity magazines, in reality,
color right there,
young teenage moms have a lot to worry about, like dismal daycare.
They usually just sat down and it's like one teacher with like 20 students. And if they didn't want to do nothing, they'll just make them watch TV.
And Wendy's kids are not alone. Approximately 7 million toddlers in the U.S. get care from somebody other than a relative, and a recent study found that only 8% of infant care centers are of good or excellent quality.
Many children spend a lot of time without having anyone talk to them, without being picked up. There are many children spending their days in front of television sets. By the time they're ready to enter kindergarten, they may be 2 years behind their more well-to-do peers.
Dr. Jack Shankoff, the head of the Center for Early Childhood Education at Harvard University, has new research that shows how neglect in the first few years of life can actually change a child's brain forever.
So when a child is getting almost no stimulation, the brain starts to kind of lose its architecture. You can see some of these connections actually wither away, and you can get death of brain cells. And the result is a brain that is less well-wired for learning and development. This is not about everybody ending up the same. This is about everybody starting at a level playing field.
A level playing field is all Wendy wants for her sons.
They're learning so much every second.
And it turns out that just across town from Wendy lives Susie Buffett, daughter of multi-billionaire Warren Buffett. In a decision that made headlines, Warren Buffett chose not to leave his fortune to his children, but rather to give them each billions of dollars for philanthropy.
Why did you choose education?
Right now, there are 25 million kids under the age of 6 in this country, and half of them are poor. And I believe that most of those kids popped out with the ability to learn and succeed, but they don't have the opportunity. So they end up going into kindergarten totally unprepared, and everything starts going downhill. I think if we can change that, it'll change the K-12 system, and it'll change a lot of other things in the country.
So Susie is putting her time and resources behind an innovative new childcare system called EduCare.
What's different between what you see here and what you see in some of the ineffective childcare centers?
Well, it's really quality. I mean, it's certified teachers in every classroom. It's very low ratios. For the youngest kids, it's 3 to 1. The kids are walking into kindergarten prepared and on the same level as their peers.
Wendy's boys were taken out of their ineffective daycare and are now being cared for here.
They have learned a lot. I look at my son, and he's doing everything. He's talking, he's walking, he's saying his numbers. He knows what he's doing.
Did that make you feel proud as a mom?
It did, and it makes me feel good.
These boys may have started off at a disadvantage. Now they are ahead of the game. But for far too many, neglect in those first few years creates obstacles that will last a lifetime.
And we don't want to scare parents or make them worry. Appropriate stimulation is everything from reading to playing to simply speaking with your children. It's the simple things that help form the foundation for the rest of their lives.
It's a really good story,
Thank
Jenna.
you.
And it doesn't just help these children and their families. It helps our entire country.
Our economy. I mean,
Exactly.
economists have talked about how important it is.
Exactly. Well done. Thanks.